Report. Each week, we report the ranges, training land, and road closures to keep our community safe and informed. Find this report on all our social media platforms, in the local newspaper, and at the Grayling Visitors Bureau, too. 30 Complex gates and trails will be open this week. However, 40 Complex near our air-to-ground range and waters will be closed for aerial gunnery and bombing Monday through Thursday. For clarification, always call headquarters at 989-344-6100. See our event pages on Facebook for details on the 4th Annual Kentucky Derby Gala, May 3rd, benefiting local veterans and the Mid-Michigan Honor Flight. Get your tickets at nagam.org. Other events for the public this year include our Boots on the Ground Heroes Memorial, Meet the Guard, Northern Strike 5K, Camp Grayling Community Council, and much more. Follow our page on Facebook for updates on all trainings and events. Thank you for supporting your military.
Good morning, Northern Michigan, and welcome to Friday Faceoff here on Up North Sports Radio, brought to us by tvcairport.com. Jerry Coyne in studio live with Rich Calkins. And Rich, the Major League Baseball season opened up yesterday, and I was surprised at how well the Tigers hit the ball.
Yeah.
The offense was pretty good. Of course, the one problem that the teams had for the over the years is getting people home from scoring position.
Yeah, I believe 0 for 15, JC, with runners in scoring position for those Tigers. But they did out-hit the Dodgers last night, with 9 hits. I believe 7 or 8 for the Dodgers. But again, those timely hits avoided them. But again, another encouraging sign for Spencer Torkelson. At 4 walks. I mean, he's
3 walks. Yeah.
4. I think he had 4. Overall, he's seeing the ball so well right now. That's a good one. And to hit a home run to deep left as well. Man, I tell you what, I'm really excited about him and the adjustments he's made.
No doubt about it. He looks like he doesn't even look. He looked way better than he did 2 years ago when he hit 30 home runs. Very disciplined. The fastball up and over, and that was a no-doubter.
It was, exactly. Yeah. No, it was so good to see. They put him in the cleanup slot. I think he's going to be there, or even at the number 3 slot now for a long time. Again, I just hope he continues, kind of in a similar trajectory there as the improvements that he's made.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Skubal pitched pretty well.
Yeah.
One really bad mistake, it mislocated that the pitch to Teoscar Hernandez, and it ends up out of the ballpark for a three-run homer, or the Tigers win the game.
They do. Absolutely right. Yeah, sometimes Terry Skubal's biggest problem, he throws too many strikes at times. Really, that's his.
Well, he was ahead in the count, and, and he just
caught too much of the plate. And a guy, the amount of power that Teoscar Hernandez has, he just deposited it in the left center seat.
Dickerson was talking about it last night, that really good hitters, really good scouted teams attack Skubal in the beginning of the count, and he and Jake Rogers made some adjustments along with Fetters about throwing more curveballs up front. You always want to get ahead.
Mm-hmm. Right. But
he is one of those truly great pitchers that, if you're down in the count, your chances of getting on base are slim.
Right. That's exactly right. Because he doesn't like to get that pitch count up there. He really loves to keep single-digit pitches per inning.
Yeah, I get that, because then you go longer into the game and that kind of thing. But, nobody is going to be surprised at all by Skubal anymore.
No.
There's a reason why that game last night was an ESPN national game.
That's exactly
right. And hopefully in 2 years he's not a Dodger.
Right. Yeah. That's exactly.
Look at, I was telling some people at Iron Pig Smoke where we had our listening party. Blake Snell is the 3rd or 4th pitcher on this pitching staff. He's won 2 Cy Young Awards.
I know. Isn't that you look.
And he pitched like crap. He didn't really pitch very well.
No, he didn't. The Tigers let him off the ropes a couple of times there. It just was tough. It's just in the lineup, it's just relentless. You know, with
the hitting lineup, the first 6 batters, it looks like the Yankees when Jeter was there.
Yeah. I mean, you go from Mookie. It looked like he was a little careful with Mookie Betts a couple times.
Yeah.
But Mookie remembers coming off that illness where he's lost like 15, 20
He did
pounds.
not look.
He did
looked
not look
frail.
good. Yeah.
He looked frail.
Yeah. In his first at bat, I think he hit the hardest ball he could hit right now, and that was kind of to the warning track of left field. So I think that Scooble made a mistake in being a little careful with Mookie right now because, again, he does not have.
Well, you
the
did
power.
a lot of long flyouts.
Yes.
A lot of long flyouts. And Hernandez happened to make it over the wall.
Kreidler made a nice play in right center field. There, diving into the warning track and making that catch, and the people were wondering prior to why Kreidler made this team. Well, that's exactly why, because he's athletic.
Well, he
enough.
made the team because we got 3 outfielders on the DL.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. And he's athletic enough to cover a lot of territory out there and made a nice play on that one.
Yeah, the Parker Meadows. We're not going to see him for probably another month.
Oh yeah, he's on a 60-day.
Yeah, he's Verling. They're talking about having back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
we could use him.
Well, we'll see what happens. We got you've got the Dodgers for 2 more games, and then
go up to
Seattle.
Yes.
Yeah, Seattle's supposed to be a good baseball team. There's every real possibility that we come back from the West Coast. 1 and 5,
right.
2 and 4, something like that. We're not coming home 14-0 like we did.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
No, we are not.
But then we get home to the White Sox and
who scored their allotment of runs for the whole month already.
That was a
game.
surprising score. Like
yes.
What? Who'd they beat? Washington, the Nationals.
Yeah, I mean. Just what they 8 runs. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Again, they hardly scored 8 runs all of last year.
Yeah.
I mean, in a month's time span.
Yeah, the bullpen looked good. I mean, that Dodgers team is an all-timer. There's people talking that they could win 120 games. They probably could.
Yeah.
If they want to, and Ohtani is just. Just in. Good at baseball.
Yes, he is. Oh, my gosh. I mean, he's just ridiculous. I mean, that pitch that he hit to the opposite field was just, it was a great pitch. It really wasn't bad. But he was looking out over the plate.
Yep.
He extended those arms and.
Well, he's got a huge strike zone, but he can get to anything in the strike zone.
That's right. Yeah, Scooble was able to jam him at one point early on and all of that, and they were talking about that quite a bit. And then all of a sudden, but then again, you let him extend those long arms of his, and then he's going to make you pay for it.
The Tigers are going to win a significant amount of games this year just on hustle and grinding it out. You kind of got the look on the faces of some of the Dodgers are like, what's going on here?
Right.
You guys can't win this game.
But we score a run.
Yeah,
you guys come right back and score
a run. What's going on here?
There's no.
We're number one. Some of them are like Ohtani is such like. Where is Detroit?
Yeah,
where is that?
Exactly.
Show, and then you got to go like this.
You got to show them right, exactly.
Okay. So, it's good to see that it's opening day. So, tonight I think will be a lot more telling. Flaherty's going to pitch.
Yep. Yamamoto for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
He's already pitched once.
The thing about Flaherty's going to be excited to pitch. How much of their knowledge of him is going to show up, or is Flaherty going to flame these guys out? There's a wild possibility of either thing happening.
Yeah, there is, with him spending, of course, the last half of the season with the Dodgers. And
he's going to get his ring.
Yes, he is. Yeah,
so he's going to be fired up.
No question.
So it'll be an interesting game tonight. It's a little later. They get their normal time.
Yeah, it's
out
a late
there.
10:30.
10:10 is when the pitch is going to happen. It was kind of cool to see the pregame ceremony.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, of course they do
Who
it.
was that? Who was that?
Ice Cube that
Ice
drove
Cube.
drove out.
I was going to say LL Cool J.
Right.
Quite frankly, what's the difference? I don't really know what the difference is between LL Cool J and Ice Cube, but the car was cool.
The very cool classic car, convertible, of course.
Yeah,
It did the slow
painted in
roll.
Dodger blue, and
Yeah.
it was so good for them. They obviously have the distinct possibility of repeating.
Yes, but it was cool. The camera shot on the ESPN coverage was they had Tom Hanks on the camera when Torkelson hit that long home run to left. He's just like, he looks like, what just happened? He's trying to keep score, and they're telling, they go, that's HR in the book, Tom. So that was kind of funny.
Yeah, and Mary Hart is always right there behind home plate. Larry King is no longer with us. Used to sit right next to Mary Hart.
Yes.
She is obviously a big Dodger fan, because any time I see the Dodgers on TV, she's right there.
Yeah,
she's
no
74.
question.
She looks really good.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But it's going to be a good Dodger team. They're going to come to Detroit, so that'll be enough of seeing that.
It will, yes. Yeah. Well, once their place, once at our place, and that's enough.
Yeah. So baseball is officially started. We thanks to everybody who came out to the Iron Pig yesterday. We had a great time, great food. Coney Bar, I can't believe you didn't show up.
I know. I almost was tempted to come up.
One guy, J-Bo, who is like the biggest Coney fan of all time, is always pissed at me. Like, how come I don't ever get a Coney? And I'm like, well, can you eat 3 of the quarter-pound all-beef dog Coney dogs? Can you do that?
Can you do that? That's a lot.
I only had the one. But, they had, like, a whole bunch of different peppers.
Right.
So, like, I had my Coney with the sauce with the onions and jalapenos on it.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah, good.
And then we're doing it again for the Tigers opener, which is next Friday. And we'll be at the Silver Dollar. So that'll be fun. My son Joe is in the beer business down in Detroit. In his territory is around Comerica Park, and he's like, they are stocking up, Dad.
Yeah, they know, right? Because it's a batch.
Well, it's a batch. Generally speaking, around Comerica Park on opening day, there's at least 300 to 500,000 people.
And there's, as of right now, the forecast is supposed to be pretty nice on next Friday.
Hopefully it'd be great if they came back, 500.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Because they have the Dodgers, Seattle, and one other series, right?
No, they get another day. Have a day off on Sunday, and then they 3-game series, and then a day off Thursday prior to the home opener.
There you go. Okay, well, good. So hopefully the bats stay the way they were.
Yes.
And they just get knocking a few more people in from scoring position.
That continued aggressive base running, taking that extra base.
Yeah, they did do that.
First to third.
Another thing that kind of surprised the Dodgers.
Exactly. They're like, what the heck? This team, they just keep coming at you all the time. You can't sit back on your heels for a second and enjoy the fruits of your labor as they're looking around the stands and we're the World Series champs. Oh, there's another movie star. There's another movie star. There's this, and it's just because they got to be ready, because the Tigers will make you play ball.
Well, yeah, and they're going to get a lot of people's best efforts. But it's not like football, where you're playing the world champions.
That's right.
Yeah. Like I said, we'll see if there's any type of letdown. Obviously it's opening day for the Tigers. They're watching this ceremony. It's hard not to get your juices flowing.
Yeah, no question.
Hopefully this is the way the team's going to play. And Hinch is going to pretty much demand it.
Yeah, no matter what roster he is given, he is going to get the most and squeeze every ounce of juice out of these guys.
Yeah, so that game and all Tiger baseball games are right here on 101.1 Up North Sports Radio. Just check your schedule, and we always post it on Up North Sports Radio's Facebook page each and every day. Because the Tigers played at 7 o'clock, it covered up the Red Wings game. Probably good for that When we return here on Up North Sports Radio's Friday Faceoff, we'll discuss the end of the Red Wings season. That and a whole bunch of really fun stuff to talk about after these words from our fine partners on Up North Sports Radio's Friday Faceoff, brought to us by TVCAirport.com. It's time for Destination.
Dreaming of the sun and sand? TVC Cherry Capital Airport will take you there. Book your summer vacation to 20 nonstop destinations served by all 6 airlines, including Avelo and Sun Country. Now's the time to book your 2025 vacation experience. Check out TVCAirport.com. TVCAirport.com. It's been such an amazing winter at Shanty Creek Resort, they're already planning for next winter. Before you break out the swimsuit, buy your season ski pass for the 25-26 ski season at Shanty Creek. Right now, save up to 20% on your unlimited, unrestricted Super Season Pass to Shush Mountain. And weekday Super Saver passes are just $199 for super savings all season long. Buy your season ski pass for the 25-26 ski season at Shanty Creek. For more information, head to shantycreek.com. Now bring on the spring.
The Traverse City Record Eagles Simply the Best 2025 Reader's Choice Contest is now open. Nominate your favorite Northern Michigan businesses, organizations, and professionals as Simply the Best. Nominate once daily in each category through Friday, May 9th. In 2024, Simply the Best broke records with nearly 15,000 nominations and more than 29,000 votes. Help your favorites stand out above the rest. Voting begins May 12th. So nominate now at record-eagle.com/simplythebest.
Hey, it's Anthony Bellino from Spin on Sports, Michigan's Sports Talk Morning Show on the Great Voice Radio Network. Heard live weekday mornings from 6 to 9 right here on Up North Sports Radio 101.1 WGRY. Whether it's Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Lions, Michigan State, the Big Ten, the Mid-American Conference, all the headlines, all the stories, and always Michigan teams first. It's all right here on Spin on Sports, weekday mornings from 6 to 9 on the Great Voice Radio Network. Heard locally on Up North Sports Radio 101.1 WGRY.
Welcome back to Up North Sports Radio's Friday Face-Off. It's time for Destination NHL. Kevin Klein is on vacation, so we have Autumn McClellan on with us. And Autumn, maybe not so many trips left in the hockey season. We'll start talking about baseball trips, but what have you got for us for the end of the hockey season?
Yeah, the hockey season is, like you said, wrapping up, and unfortunately it might come to a close sooner rather than later with the Detroit Red Wings, right? Not looking good for a playoff season?
Yeah, unfortunately, the game last night may have signaled the death knell. If they won all the rest of their games, I think there's a chance they make the playoffs, but it's not looking good considering we've got the Hurricanes and the Panthers and the Lightning, all these teams that have won Stanley Cups in the last few years.
Right, yeah, they got a tough run ahead, but hey, let's try to get in some of those trips to see them if they continue this season. Next up, as far as away game, they will be in St. Louis.
Right.
And you can head to St. Louis right from Traverse City for just $289, and that's on United. So get in there, check out that game. Maybe they can pull it back in, right?
I've spent a lot of time in St. Louis. It's a fun city to visit. It really is.
Yeah, I have never been. So, hey, maybe I'm going to have to jump on that.
Yeah,
flight.
no doubt about it. There's great dining, and the building they play in is really cool. It's right down the road from the Budweiser plant. You can take that tour and get a couple of free Budweisers.
Hey, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah,
right?
It is a good time.
And then after St. Louis, you could head up to Montreal and see them play the Montreal Canadiens on April 8th. And that flight, we have some American, United, and Delta flights there. So check those out. You can, of course, go to tvcairport.com, and you'll see all the airlines listed right there and your options. But the really exciting thing is when they head to Florida to play the Florida Panthers on April 10th, and then the Tampa Bay Lightning on April 11th. You can make a great trip out of there. We have Allegiant nonstop flights right to Tampa Bay, St. Pete, and then also to Fort Lauderdale, $108 round trip to Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
You can't even drive from here to Detroit for that. It's going to cost you that much in gas. And now that the Tigers are in the real baseball season and there's no spring training anymore, you can go down, enjoy the sun and the heat, and see the Red Wings play.
Exactly. And you know what? Kevin Klein is in Florida right now, and we're getting weather reports daily, and it's looking pretty nice.
Kevin who?
Right? Hopefully that his badge still works on Monday when he comes back.
Yeah, well, Kevin is banned from doing this program, Autumn. We're just keeping you doing it now.
I'll let you share that news with him.
Well, he's not listening, I'm sure, so I think, we'll slide under with this one. I think he'll find a way to worm his way back into this program.
We do miss him. We miss him.
Yeah.
He's enjoying some well-deserved time off.
But, yeah, whenever you're thinking your travel needs now, I know a lot of people are off at spring break, but as spring break ends, a lot of flights come down in price no matter where you are or where you want to visit across the country. The place to leave from is Cherry Capital Airport.
Oh, completely. And I was just playing with some of those Allegiant flights here. If you want to leave even this weekend or next weekend, they're really incredible prices. We're talking about, less than $200 round trip to some destinations, $258 to Fort Lauderdale, $290 to Orlando, Stanford, right here
Yeah.
from Cherry Capital Airport, right to your favorite destination.
Yeah, and we still have another month of cold weather. So, I had a conversation yesterday. A couple of people like, yeah, I saw this band of weather. I got to get out of here. So that,
completely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
This weather is a little much.
Yeah, it's relentless until it's not.
Yeah.
Autumn McLaren, thanks for joining us and giving us the latest and greatest from tvcairport.com.
Oh, thank you, guys. Have a great weekend.
All right. There you go, Rich. Yeah, unfortunately, the Red Wings have just lost too many games. I don't see how like I said, they would have to win literally every game they have left. They've got 10 left against the Panthers, the Lightning, the Hurricanes. The Blues are in a playoff hunt out west. So yeah, it's I believe they have dug themselves too deep a hole.
Yeah, losing 4 of their last 5 is just it's a too
7
big
out of
a
their
hill to climb now.
8 out of their last 11.
Unbelievable. Yeah. And we need some help by the teams in front coming back to the
Well, they could have helped themselves greatly because everybody's been losing on the east side.
Yeah, Boston's behind us now. Actually, and we play them tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, but again, we just don't like you get down by 3 goals early in the game last night. You just make a late run to come, but again, too little, too late.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to play better hockey consistently.
Yeah, I don't think Yzerman's going to get fired, but we got to stop calling it the Yzer plan. I don't know what is going to happen. They're not going to get a decent draft pick. I mean, I know they have a lot of picks in the upcoming draft, but,
We just always miss out on those difference makers, when we had those top picks and all that. We never got that chance to be like number 1 overall or a guy that was the it guy when we had our chances. And so it's just. But even those teams like the Rangers got a couple of those guys. Where are the Rangers at? They're bad. It's about team building, and the same success that Yzerman had in Tampa is not paying off here in Detroit, and I'm not exactly sure why that is. I know. I agree. Because, again, you listen, when I listen to 97 on the ticket and things, and people will call in and say, well, just because Stevie was the captain of the Wings and doesn't mean he's a good GM. No, he's proven to be a good GM in Tampa. That's what some of these guys that just are parachuting in. He was a really good GM, and he helped build that Stanley Cup team.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
And so it just, but like you said, we were so excited when he wanted to come back and he was going to be the GM of the Red Wings, but it just hasn't. It's been a long process, and we're like almost get there and just kind of fall back a little bit.
Yeah, it's. It's wildly disappointing.
It is.
It looked like.
I really thought that they would be the team that would get to the besides the Lions, of course, of our 4 sports teams. That I thought the Red Wings were going to be the team in the playoffs consistently, battling and slowly making progression up those steps. But
we hope it's the Tigers again, and and we'll when we come back here, we'll talk about the Pistons because the Pistons are going to be in the playoffs. They're not even going to be in the play-in.
Right.
They're going to have with Lillard's injury, the Pistons are probably going to be in the 4th spot.
Yeah.
And that means they're going to have, home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs.
Incredible.
Yeah, against I don't know whether it'll be either against Milwaukee or the Knicks. So, it's really hard to fathom that the Wings are going to be the worst team in our sports universe.
Yeah, it is hard to fathom that for sure.
How old is Larkin now?
Yeah, geez.
He's got to be 30 or
yeah.
You're wasting some prime years of his, and I don't know what you can expect from Kane going forward. So
Right.
Some big changes are coming to this team. Speaking of hockey, on a more interesting note, Michigan State was the #1 ranked team all year long in college, all year long, and they're out already. What was it? Minnesota State they lost to, or
that was a backbreaker. Yeah, for sure. That's
no, it wasn't Minnesota State.
And Western is continuing to move along.
Western won their conference, and they won yesterday. The Frozen Four, Michigan State. Out
already. Yeah, that's highly disappointing because I know a lot of Sparty fans were really talking about this is the year that they might win a natty, and it's not going to happen.
The best goalie on the planet.
Yeah.
I think he's already owned by somebody.
Yeah, he's already been drafted. Yeah. I don't know, but
I can't
that
remember.
makes sense. Yeah.
It might actually be the Wings.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know they've invested some of their draft picks besides, Kosa and things like that they have drafted some guys, again, that they know as future goaltenders for sure.
Yeah. But on the inverse side of that, the Lady Badgers won their 8th national championship last week.
Yeah, pretty amazing there. Talk about some serious domination there. That's 8 national titles for that. And again, how long have they had national championships in girls hockey?
Yeah, Trey Augustine is the goalie of the Michigan State, and he was drafted by the Red Wings in 2023.
All right.
I think he's out of college eligibility. So
he will be somewhere in the Red Wings rank and file, maybe.
Yeah, they took him in the 2nd round last year in 2023. He was the named goalie of the year this year in college hockey, and he had a spectacular season this year.
Maybe giving Kosa some competition in Grand Rapids might bring out the best in both of them. He's been the goalie for the United States juniors and their seniors team. So he's had a lot of world experience there with some of the best young players.
Yeah, he's 42-16 as the goalie at Michigan State.
That'll work.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yep.
So he's going to be a Red Wing, and I can't tell from his Wikipedia page if he has another year at Michigan State or not. Sparty's.
Yeah,
it's been a long time since they won a national championship in hockey.
And they, and he probably came back after getting drafted. Instead of going into the farm system right away with the Red Wings, he saw that what this team was made of and thought that, I'm going to get a chance to win a national title with the Spartans here. And so that's why he hung around.
So let's see here. Finished. Well, he's only a sophomore.
Okay.
Or no, that's 2044. Today is, this is the 24-25 hockey season. Right?
Yeah.
So he could play at Michigan State for another 2 years.
Wow.
Depending on,
right,
what's going to happen with Kosa.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But they traded for Miraz. When is Kosa going to be ready?
Yeah, they brought him up temporarily as like the
but
third.
He never even got in.
He played. No,
he
he got sent right back down to Grand Rapids.
And I guess I'll have to call Zane and ask him. Eric Zane, our morning guy over on Q100, is the voice of the Griffins. And there was some talk when they were in the fight last year, and they had their goaltending wasn't super, that Kosa was going to come up.
Right.
And he told me last year that he was nowhere near ready.
Okay.
And the Griffins haven't had the greatest year either, so I don't know if he's going to be the savior in net.
Right.
Because we don't have a savior in net. I don't know if you've noticed.
I have. I think a lot of people have noticed as well. As we got Talbot got pulled last night, or
Mrazek got hurt.
Yeah, and then but got pulled after giving up 3 goals and 10 shots, and then his replacement came in and played well. Stopped the bleeding for a while.
Yeah,
but did give up 1 more. But still,
the game winner.
Yeah. But
the game winner, Rich.
You give, but giving up
winner game.
Chicken dinner.
Yeah.
But you give up 3 on 10 shots. That's not your night.
No.
And so it had to be.
Yeah, it's just, we're going to have Woodsy on.
We are.
I don't know how he's
optimistic.
I don't know how he's going to dispel this one out. So we'll effort to. I didn't even want to call Gabe.
Keith he's so bummed, I'm sure.
Well, he's down in Florida, so screw him.
Oh, he's still there?
Yeah,
holy cow, he's camped out. He's going to establish residency down there.
Yeah. When we return here on Up North Sports Radio, we will talk better things about the Detroit Pistons. Do we want to discuss Aaron Rodgers? And a hotter than hell NCAA tournament. And there's a couple teams you may have heard of playing tonight. One of them will be, I don't know if we're going to actually have the Michigan game on the radio because
of the Tiger game so late.
Yeah,
they're both like
they're late.
That's
the Tigers. We have to play the Tigers. Yeah. So, we'll discuss all of that and more here on Up North Sports Radio's Friday Faceoff, brought to us by TVCAirport.com.
Sports on the Michigan News Network, sponsored by Mitch Lyons Wealth.
The 2025 season of the Tigers begins 0-1 after being edged by the Dodgers 5-4 out in Los Angeles. Tarek Skubal tagged for 4 runs in 5 innings during his first start. They'll play the second game of the series tonight for a late-night 10:10 p.m. start on the West Coast. Also, the Tigers and Dodgers legend Kirk Gibson threw out the first pitch for that opener while donning Dodgers gear. A third-period rally falling just short for the Red Wings at home, suffering their 11th regulation loss in 14 games with a 4-3 setback in downtown Detroit. The record falls to .500 on the season, and they remain 3 points back for a wild-card spot. At number 2, Michigan State hockey shocked by Cornell in the first game of the NCAA tournament, falling 4-3 in the Toledo region. Their season comes to an abrupt end. Western Michigan, they moved on after an overtime winner over Minnesota State 2-1. Chris Villar, Michigan News Network.
Is the stock market keeping you up at night worrying about your retirement? Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, founder of Mitch Lyons Wealth. I want to share with you how you don't need to ride the Wall Street roller coaster, and instead you can have a retirement of steel with no worry and more than enough income to retire comfortably. Call today to schedule a 10-minute call to see if what we do is for you. Call 855-626-1962. That's 855-626-1962. MitchLyonsWealth.com, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding a unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Friday Faceoff on Up North Sports Radio, brought to us by TVCAirport.com. Jerry Coyne, Rich Calkins. And Rich and I were just talking off the air about the games that were played last night. Really, I thought we would see closer games for the most part. I thought Maryland would really hang with Florida.
Right.
You know, it was competitive in the first half.
Yep.
Florida looks really good.
They do. That they do. That was the team
I haven't seen Duke play so much. You know, I've watched him a couple times, against North Carolina and some of the teams in the ACC who are really inferior opponents.
Right.
But they just
Yeah.
put it to an Arizona team that's pretty damn good.
They did, and that was the big question on Duke coming out of the ACC, because the ACC was not your normal ACC this year. So playing that level of competition, you know, were they ready to go on a big run in the NC2A tourney? Because the competition gets ratcheted up, of course, each level or each step you make. But they certainly have handled all the challenges thus far.
They look like they're going to be tough to beat.
They sure do.
But Cooper Flagg is as advertised.
He sure is. And it's so good to see what's going to be an American-born player go first in the NBA draft this year. That's what, you know, he captured a lot of attention for that kid from Maine.
Yeah.
You know, that hotbed.
Who, he's 18. He's just barely 18.
Yeah.
And he can do it all. Rich and I were saying here how fast he is for his size.
Yes.
And he's not skinny.
No, he's not. He's got that frame that when he continues to grow into that body, he's going to be a monster.
Yeah, I mean, he's 6'11". I think he's about 225 or 235. But he gets up and down the floor like a wing.
Mm-hmm.
He handles it way better than most wings.
Yes.
And he's got great court vision.
Oh, he passes the ball. That no-look pass.
A couple, the one that he scooped off the ground and set in for
I know, throws a nice alley-oop to the big man coming
through 2 alley-oops in a row, and that whole Duke team is way more athletic. You know, like during the Coach K years when they won some tournaments, you know, you can't. I don't think you could compare Leitner to Flagg.
Right.
I mean, Leitner actually got up and down the floor pretty well.
He did.
He was a tough rebounder and everything else, but he couldn't handle the ball like this at all.
Yeah, he was kind of more of a true post player.
But, you know, they always had like, you know, here's, you know, a number of white guys, Danny Hurley and Leitner, and then they had the one athlete, Grant Hill, Shane Battier, right? Yeah. They have athletes everywhere.
They do, yeah. Shire's done a nice job of getting athletes to Duke.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah, he's done a pretty good job.
And Carlos Boozer's son is headed there, just signed that. He was the California Player of the Year.
Yeah, well, that says quite a bit. You know, when you're the California Player of the Year, they play a lot of hoopsters out there in California.
So, you know, when we were talking to Coach Campy last week about him not recruiting any high school players, I actually heard some of that talk on the national stuff, right?
I did too.
Unless you're super great.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the Dukes of the I mean, if you're a top 100 player, you're still going somewhere.
Right. Coach Campy nailed the number of kids that were going to hit the transfer portal. He nailed the number. It was like he was spot on. I can't remember exactly what the number he said, but he said like a couple thousand or something, or whatever. The number, he nailed the
1,200.
Yeah, he nailed the number of what
900 on the first day, but the 3 days.
Yeah. But
it's not Joe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Joe, hasn't been a regular guest lately.
Not lately, but you know, Campy voiced his displeasure about the portal opening up during the tournament. Tom Izzo was a little bit more vociferous.
He was, yeah. He echoed and then took it up another notch there for
the
sure.
urinal.
Yeah. Oh, it's just Izzo again. These guys, they're 4 kids getting paid. They're 4, you know, available. Some of the time.
Why are they? I mean, I don't. It makes zero sense. And the same thing happened in college football, Rich.
Yeah.
The portal opened up after the first week of the playoffs.
Yeah. The NC2A makes no sense with some of this stuff. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is why people have disdain for the NC2A. They make bad decisions, you know. And
I mean, what sense does it make to do this? Or tell me, give me one negative feedback. Like, we open the portal a week after the season's over.
Yeah, meaning after the national championship. That's what. Yes, What's the difference?
What is the difference?
What is the difference? I mean, now you've got these coaches that are sitting there trying to prepare for Elite Eight games and all of that, and they got to be worried about transfer portal, about a kid leaving. Like Michigan.
What do you mean? Scottie Pippen's kid left the team.
Yeah. He's got a chance. They're still in the tourney, and he's already.
I mean, he could get a ring. I mean, Michigan. I think Michigan has an outstanding chance to beat Auburn tonight. I really do.
Yeah.
Auburn has not played great. Broom's going to have to go off, and he's going to have to go off against Golden.
Yes.
So that's not going to be the easiest thing in the world to have happen. Now, granted, Auburn could easily beat Michigan.
Yes.
But on the inverse, I think Michigan can easily beat Auburn, and I think that is the bet of the month.
Do you? Wow.
6.5. 6.5 if Michigan's getting.
Is that what it is?
And how many freaking close games have these guys played in?
It was at 9.5 at one time. I saw, and it was 8.5, and now it's 6.5. Wow.
That's what I heard last night.
Because again, Michigan has to take care of the basketball. That's their one. If they turn the ball over like they have at times this year, that's Auburn's a dangerous team. But you're going out on the limb, you think?
No, I'm getting it.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
They have, like I said, who's played in more close games this year?
Michigan.
Yeah, they've got blown out just once.
Yeah.
Actually, they've got blown out twice. They got blown out by Purdue, by the State and Purdue.
Purdue, yeah.
But they have played in more close games than any other team in the country.
Yeah, exactly. And they've played in more close games than they've won more close games.
And I think that
those one possession games, they're getting a reputation of you don't want to have it come down to one play towards the end of the game because Michigan.
Well, what do you mean? It's been happening all over the place.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, here we go.
What is it?
8.5.
8.5. Okay, that's a.
Sign me up. In fact, I'm betting it right now.
Live on the
$2 million. Let me just close this out. On the money line, they're plus 320. That means if you bet $100 and Michigan beats Auburn, you get 320 plus your 100 back. So $420. I think that's a pretty good bet. So that is my thoughts about that. Since I've got the app open, Michigan State has got to be favored in this game. Ole Miss is as tough as Michigan State. This is probably going to be a pretty tough game.
Right.
Most people are thinking, oh yeah, Michigan State's going to cruise.
Right.
Chris Beard is the head coach of Mississippi. This guy's been to a Final Four, lost a national championship game in overtime. All these coaches that had got bounced out, for doing things now that are legal.
Legal, yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah, Miller is back. Got kicked out of Arizona. Now he's at Texas.
Beard was at Texas.
Yeah,
and now Miller comes in behind him eventually.
And who's the guy from LSU that's now at North Carolina State? From McNeese State.
Okay, yeah, I don't.
Yeah. I'll dig up his name in a second, but Michigan State.
But look at Bruce Pearl too. He's at Auburn there. He did some things years ago, and then since then.
Did what things, Rich?
I don't. Yeah, that's terrible. Did some things. I'm not even sure, but we do. What do we have? 3 Big Ten teams?
Will Wade.
Will Wade. Okay.
Yeah, Will Wade had got LSU to the Sweet 16 a few years ago. Played fast and loose with the rules.
Yes.
He and Miller were part of that FBI investigation. That was not pretty.
Yeah.
Where agents were paying players,
right,
shoe guys and everything else, and a couple guys actually went to jail.
A lot, yes.
I don't know how Miller and Wade avoided jail. Guess they didn't want to put. I don't know.
Isn't that wild? We got shoe guys.
The shoe guys are in jail.
Those darn shoe guys.
But no, Sparty The thing that Michigan State, the one thing that Michigan State has over Ole Miss is this depth, and it's the same thing. You know, you see the pattern repeats itself over and over and over again for Michigan State. They are in a dogfight, and then because their guys are all so much fresher, they win these games with 8 minutes, 6 minutes left to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is the one thing that they have over Mississippi. I think Mississippi starting five is as good or better than Michigan State. They play super tough. They look a lot like Michigan State. They crash the boards.
Right.
They get out and they shoot the ball a little better than Michigan State, although Michigan State, ever since people were like going, oh, they can't shoot the ball, they're shooting it a little better.
All of a sudden they're shooting it better, yes, for
there's
sure.
no doubt about it.
Yeah. Like you imagine, there are, 3 Big Ten teams still in for tonight. Of course, Purdue, do they have a chance against Houston?
No, I don't think
Houston going to run them off the floor?
Braden Smith's going to have, you know, he was the first team All-American.
Right.
He's very good. I don't know what he's going to be like in the league, but he's one of those guards that looks a little too slow, but you don't ever see him sped up.
Right.
It's like how Cade Cunningham is playing now.
Yes.
You know, he's not the fastest guy on the floor, but you can't speed him up. He gets to play at his own pace.
He does.
Those guys are rare. You know, Jason Kidd was like the first guy that I ever saw that was like that.
Right.
You know, he's just, you can't take the ball from me. I mean, Isaiah Thomas was fast. Some of the great point guards, he was just super fast, and you couldn't get, so it was impossible to speed him up. But you got a lot of these point guards now that are able to do what they want to do at their own pace. They get to see the floor and everything else, and so he runs that Purdue offense.
And they're not the most athletic guys, and but they just don't. That some of these guys don't have that elite athleticism that, like you said, Isaiah Thomas. He was so quick off the dribble and everything. It was really tough to stay in front of him. And but Cade Cunningham, he uses his size now. He's using all of that. He's maturing right before, he's not playing tonight, by the way, but I know.
Yeah, Cade's been out. That's been an interesting thing.
Yes.
I want to talk about that when we go to break here in a minute. Who's the other kid on Purdue whose brother played at Michigan State?
Oh yeah, the Clarkston boys there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh jeez.
He has not been shooting the ball very well. All. Yeah, and in fact, he's not even listed on there.
I mean, he wasn't even shoot. I mean, I watched him shoot free throws, and there was no backspin on the ball. It was like a knuckleball, and he's a noted 85% free throw shooter. It was just crazy. Yeah, his brother. Oh my gosh, I can't.
Here it is, right here. Nope, that's the wrong one.
I think their dad coached at Clarkson.
Yeah, it's driving me crazy now.
We have 2 or 3 brothers that played, like you said, one of them at MSU.
Fletcher Lawyer.
Yeah. Yes.
His brother's playing for the Celtics.
Yes.
Yeah. He has had a disappointing second half of the season because the Wren kid has really turned into a really good player. Right. Lawyer is going to have to go for 15, 20 points tonight if they have any chance against Houston. And the way Houston plays defense, I doubt that's going to happen.
Right.
The same thing with Wren. Purdue's going to have to play a perfect basketball game. I've got Houston winning it all.
Yeah. We've got some really good teams left. I mean, really good teams.
Yeah.
And like you're getting back to Fletcher Lawyer. I mean, it's like he's just lost that shooting stroke, just going, and it's all, in his head. Obviously, he's getting it, got to get it back. He's sure, coach, he's watching video, he's doing everything he can to get it back. But sometimes you lose it, and man, it's hard to get it back.
Yeah, and the other thing is not a guy that can really get his own shot.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and that's not going to work against Houston.
Yeah, so if you can't beat someone off the dribble and create space and do things like that.
So the schedule tonight, Sparty's kick it all off at 7 o'clock versus Ole Miss, followed 30 minutes later by Kentucky and Tennessee. That should be a really good game. Tennessee's already beaten Kentucky twice. We'll see if they can do it again.
Yes.
Then, like we said, the Michigan-Auburn game, that's at 9:30. And then Purdue and Houston at 10 o'clock. So, I hope the Michigan-Auburn game is super competitive. I don't see why it won't, because I really don't think the Houston and Purdue game is. And I don't know what I'm going to do at 10 o'clock if both of those games stink. I'll turn on the radio and listen to the Tigers.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's right.
But I think Michigan State, like I said, I think they're going to have problems. Tennessee's a 4.5-point favorite against Kentucky. Kentucky's played great in this tournament.
Yes, they have.
They kind of look like Arkansas. I was really I was surprised that Arkansas ended up losing that game last night.
Oh, I thought. They had, a 13-point lead still with like 4 minutes
I like
to go.
Texas Tech a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that Texas Tech was, the only team outside of the top 8 that could win this tournament.
Right.
And they showed you why last night.
Right.
I mean, when they put the hammer down on them defensively in the last 8 minutes.
Yeah.
They turned Arkansas over like 6 times. Held them 3 times to the clock expired before they could get a shot off.
Yeah, and that just totally deflates a team.
Yeah.
When you can't get shots off and the shot clock's going off, it's super deflating.
Yeah, it really is. What's deflating, folks, is that the ski season is over at Shanty Creek. But golf season is coming up, Rich, and that means the revival of the prime rib buffet.
That's
and
right.
the breakfast.
It's knocking on the door, baby.
Rich is going to lose like 30 pounds here. It's going to be like Mookie Betts. But the 2025 marks the 60th anniversary of the first golf course opening at Shanty Creek. That's the Summit Golf Course. So they're kicking off the season with tee time anniversary specials. Courses are slated to open May 1st, and you can play any of Shanty Creek's 5 championship courses for $35.
Wow.
Including cart.
Incredible.
And folks, let me tell you, the 5 golf courses that they have at Shanty Creek are all outstanding. I mean, Cedar River and Hawkeye and the Legend by Arnold Palmer, the Summit Golf Course and the Shanty Course, all worth well over $35. As Lindsay has written here, no gimmicks.
Yeah. Right.
No caveats, just great golf, including cart.
No hidden fees.
For the first 12 days of May, book those tee times now. They will sell out, folks. So you can go right now and book them at shantycreek.com. Save additional savings on discounts for your golf rounds when you book your lodging. So you want to get those weekend golf trips with your buddies, male or female. A lot more. Every time I'm up there, there's huge groups of women.
Yeah.
playing. Yeah.
Oh, they're getting into golf.
They're getting after it. You can go to shantycreek.com or call 800-678-4111. And one of the reasons why I suggest you do that is because their reservations are great. They have tons of lodging options, not just at the hotel. They got condos, and they can set everything up for you. They can even help you with, staying off-site at staycation stuff. So, shantycreek.com. Golf season can't get here fast enough. Oh, and by the way, Rich, next Saturday we start finding fairways.
That's right.
All right.
And the Masters is right around the corner,
Right around the corner, yep. Back after these on Up North Sports Radio's Friday Faceoff, brought to us by TVCAirport.com.
It's been such an amazing winter at Shanty Creek Resort, they're already planning for next winter. Before you break out the swimsuit, buy your season ski pass for the 25-26 ski season at Shanty Creek. Right now, save up to 20% on your unlimited, unrestricted Super Season Pass to Shush Mountain. And weekday Super Saver passes are just $199 for super savings all season long. Buy your season ski pass for the 25-26 ski season at Shanty Creek. For more information, head to shantycreek.com. Now bring on the spring. Dreaming of the sun and sand? TVC Cherry Capital Airport will take you there. Florida beaches, the Caribbean, or the links in Phoenix? Fly nonstop on Allegiant or with just one stop on American, Delta, or United. Seats are filling up fast. Up to the minute flight details at tvcairport.com.
The Traverse City Record Eagles Simply the Best 2025 Reader's Choice Contest is now open. Nominate your favorite Northern Michigan businesses, organizations, and professionals as Simply the Best. Nominate once daily in each category through Friday, May 9th. In 2024, Simply the Best broke records with nearly 15,000 nominations and more than 29,000 votes. Help your favorites stand out above the rest. Voting begins May 12th. So nominate now at record-eagle.com/simplythebest.
Sunburst Marine has been selling, storing, and servicing your boats for over 20 years. Michigan-made Avalon pontoons are in stock with more on the way. Stop in the Sunburst Marine store on Old 27 next to Burger King in Gaylord for exclusive boat show deals on in-stock and your made-to-order Avalon pontoon and Suzuki outboard technology. Sunburst is ready to outfit your boat with the latest in 4-stroke outdoor power. Visit sunburstmarine.com or their heated showroom as the boat show sale continues.
Hey Q Nation, it's J-Bo here, and I'm getting ready for the big J-Bo Billman Show at the venue in Cadillac on April 25th. Come down and be a part of a live concert DVD. We need you in the crowd, people. We'll be doing new J-Bo music, your favorite Billman Bros tunes, and even some Grinder Blues stuff. With special guest Heat Above, it's going to be an epic night. Tickets are just $20. Find the ticket link on the Q100Michigan.com homepage. That's Friday, April 25th. Presented by Q100 Michigan, the only place for rock and roll.
Welcome back to Friday Faceoff on Up North Sports Radio, brought to us by TVCAirport.com. Jerry Coyne, Rich Calkins. I was just telling Rich I'm on the Detroit Free Press website. All three of their sports writers predict that Auburn will beat Michigan, none of them by more than 6 points.
Okay. Yeah.
So, as I said.
So a close, hard-fought ball game in their eyes.
But you were telling me, I don't know where you saw this information about Cade not playing tonight.
Yeah, I read it, I think it's CBSSports.com, I believe is where I read it. Let me see here. Let me get to the Pistons here. But they had made the statement that...
Yeah, they got the Cavs tonight.
Yes.
I don't like their chances to beat the Cavs without Cade, that's for sure.
Yeah, right here. Pistons, Cade Cunningham ruled out for Friday.
Okay.
With that calf. That was 18 hours ago they printed that. So
they've got the Cavs tonight and the T-Wolves on Sunday.
All right.
And then the Thunder on Tuesday.
And OKC. Woo! That's
okay.
A tough 3-game
Yeah, they've
stretch.
got some tough games. They play Toronto after that.
Yep.
Which should be a win. The Grizzlies are very good. They're playing them. They got the Kings, who are starting to fall apart. They got the Knicks, the Bucks. The Bucks back to back. Those two games at the end of the year
could come down to that fifth seed there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they're probably being ultra careful with Cade's calf.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think they can plummet enough in the standings. So they've won some games without him.
How about Marcus Sasser? That kid, I tell you, I've always liked that kid.
How about a Sir Thompson playing point guard?
I love
it. What the hell's going on?
Hey, I tell you, J.B. Bickerstaff is just.
Yeah, I mean, when did I don't think they drafted a Sir Thompson to be point guard.
No, I don't think so either. That's for sure. But that shows you just how this guy
Well, he and his brother are both super athletic.
They are.
His brother seems to have a little bit better shot than his Sir does, but.
Yeah.
You know, he's found a way to keep getting minutes on the floor.
That's right. No, I like it for sure.
You know, that's a talent.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For someone like you said that doesn't have a great shot.
Yeah. No. I think that's. I was a head scratcher as a player. Like, well, I don't know why we're playing him, but it seems I just think they're working out a little bit better when he's not.
No, exactly, because there's a lot more to the game than just putting the ball in the hoop.
Yeah,
doing that dirty work of setting screens and rebounding and diving after loose balls and something about. It's not always the most talented five guys play.
Yeah,
it's the guys that play best together.
Exactly.
You know.
Or the best 8 guys, and you know, when you bring in some guys, and that's one of the things that Bickerstaff has figured out, you know, with Harris and Hardaway and Thompson and Duran and Stewart. I mean, you got a lot of players, and I haven't heard one person bitch all year about I'm not playing enough.
That's right. I haven't.
And you
heard-
got Holland, and you got Sasser, and and Ivy's not even around.
Right. Yeah. And you got guys sitting on the bench like Fontecchio who can score 30 if he had regular minutes. The guy can shoot the lights out.
He can.
But he just is probably a little bit defensively, needs to pick up his game. But dang.
I saw the video that they released on Ivy a couple days ago, and he looked pretty good.
He is looking good, yes. I saw, yes. I'm really happy with his progression. And they're thinking he might be back, play a few games at the end of the regular season. That would be awesome.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
To get Jaden Ivey back, dang. Because like you said, we're making this playoff run without him. I really thought that Ivy injury would just really hurt the Pistons bad because he was playing really well at the time he got hurt. But they've just seemed to pick it up and, other people stepping up.
Yeah, the Pistons are we might actually get some Piston fever if they win a playoff series.
That would be great if they could win their first round series.
Joe went to the game, the Pelicans game that you were talking about.
Okay, right, yeah.
And he said the tickets are not cheap at LCA.
Right.
So they were in the second bowl.
Okay.
And tickets are like $40.
Okay.
He said, but the upper bowl was like almost sold out.
Is that right?
The lower bowl, not so much, because you're talking about 100, 120 bucks for those seats. But he said that, the atmosphere at the LCA was pretty good.
Good.
For a team that the Pelicans suck, and Cade isn't playing, and Williams is not playing, and but they sold a bunch of tickets, and
good.
Yeah.
Good for them. And we've been waiting a long time for, you know what I mean? Because when the Red Wings were competitive and all of that, people were filling the seats. But it's good to see with basketball, with the Pistons playing so well, to start having the fans come out as well.
Yeah. So there tonight, we will have both those games. So the Pistons are going to be on at 7 o'clock here on Up North Sports Radio.
Plenty of time.
And then the Tigers will come on at 10 o'clock. So nobody has. What's something interesting, Rich? I'm saying this as loudly as possible without hurting your ears. James Cook called me yesterday.
Yeah.
And asked if we were still running the Tigers on the radio.
Right.
James Cook is, of course, the sports editor for the Traverse City Record Eagle.
Right.
His editor asked him to write an article about the Tigers on the radio because evidently nobody is running the Tigers in Traverse City.
Seriously.
Yeah.
There's no coverage over there from the Tigers.
Yeah.
The biggest city north of Grand Rapids.
Yep.
And we don't. You can't get.
They're not cheap, folks.
Right.
I mean, I would love.
It's an investment, man.
It costs us $800 a month to run them. So if you have a small business, call me. I'll put you in the Tigers for a great bargain. But we are the only, and you can't stream them unless you pay for MLB.
Right.
So you folks are lucky to have Up North Sports Radio running Tiger baseball on the radio. And what sport is better on the radio?
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
Listening to a ball game on the radio, it's just it doesn't get any better.
It really doesn't, especially when you got Dan Dickerson.
Yes.
I don't care who's in the other seat.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, because Dan's the best.
Yeah. All right, Rich, that's going to do it. Thanks for joining us here on Up North Sports Radio's Friday Faceoff. Don't forget to head over to shantycreek.com and book those tee times. $35 to play any of the golf courses between May 1 and May 12.
Every time. Bring out some Tabasco. Give me the coffee. Let's rock it. No, I don't want the omelet. I do like omelets. I don't want it. It's not what I ordered here. It's time for Buy or Sell.
What side will Bill take on the biggest issues in the world of sports? It's time for today's edition of Buy or Sell on Writer Than You.
Let's go, Tom!
Here we go, Bill. And speaking of people who don't quit, this guy didn't quit even when he was drafted as Mr. Irrelevant.
Hey!
Brock Purdy was a guest on the Built for More podcast and had this to say about his career thus far.
I'm not going to lie. My whole story, dude, has been just being overlooked, not good enough. And for me, deep down inside, I'm like, I know I can play and compete at this level. So all these people tell me that, you're not going to be good enough. But deep down inside, like this whole time, I'm like, just wait till I get an opportunity to compete. And I'm not going to look back with it, man.
Brock Purdy, not a quitter.
I like that guy. He's not a quitter. I like that guy. Do you kind of like him?
He's easy to root for.
Yeah, he is.
Bill, buy or sell, the 49ers should pay Brock Purdy like an elite QB this offseason.
I mean, if you don't treat people well, they leave. So, buy.
Buy.
Purdy has got to get his money. Now, what is it? Is it 40? Is it 50? Is it 55? Is it 42? What's the guaranteed money? I don't know. But I'm serious. You got to give him his cash.
All right, Bill, staying in the NFL here. Some early over-unders are out for the 2025 season. Your Chicago Bears are at 8.5 wins, but so are the Pittsburgh Steelers. And as we've discussed, Pittsburgh right now has no idea who their starting quarterback is going to be. Bill, buy or sell right now, you feel better about the Bears hitting the over on 8.5 than you do Mike Tomlin's Steelers.
Oh, buy. I mean, which is why it's not going to happen. But I do. Let me ask you, riddle me this. Now, I'm going to give you a scenario that would take some time, and it would be an unlikely outcome, and it couldn't happen tomorrow. But if we got to a point where the Purdy Niners thing was a standoff that led to him actually being able to leave, buy or sell, the Steelers should pay Brock Purdy $55 million a year.
Buy.
Yeah. That's why he's got to get paid. Because somebody will, and I think it would work.
All right, Bill, speaking of working here, some more over-unders for you. According to betonline.ag, the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Buffalo Bills, and the Ravens are all set right now at 11.5 wins for next season. Bill, buy or sell the Chiefs finishing with more wins than Philly, Buffalo, and Baltimore?
They're going to win more than Philly because championship hangovers are real, especially in sports where there's physical pain. I think the Bills and the Ravens are going to have a huge chip on their shoulder as well. I'll sell.
Sell.
I think the Chiefs are going to win 12 or 13 games. I think the Bills or the Ravens are one of those teams are going to have an extraordinary regular season and then lose to the Chiefs at home in the playoffs.
Do you see a year coming for Kansas City, whether it's next season, 2 years from now, somewhere in the Mahomes era, where I don't want to say they don't care about the regular season, but they finish with 9 wins or 10 wins and they squeak into the playoffs?
No. I mean, look, we're saying barring injury, right? We're saying not a...
Sure, yeah.
No, sell. No.
Sell.
Because I think they already are lackadaisical, and they still are the top seed, and you know what they are? They're the Bengals, but they win those games. The Bengals play with their food, then the food gets away and grows into a monster and takes them out. I mean, the Bengals sort of weird, low-key, whatever start to seasons. The Chiefs have that over the course of a lot of the year, but they still win those games. No, I think they are, presuming the health of the critical players, and Andy Reid is the coach, I think they are all locked for 10 wins as a low. They are what I said the Bears were last year, which you put in that this makes it real dumb that I was that optimistic on Chicago. Buy or sell, you are optimistic about Ben Johnson.
Buy.
I wanted to say something mean, but I'm not going to do it.
It's fine.
I'm not going to do it.
If it can't work with him, we should just shut the team down.
That's the thing. Like, I'm optimistic about Ben Johnson, ... Am I optimistic about Ben Johnson in Chicago? I actually am. But, man, it almost feels like if it doesn't work now, then the franchise is just cursed.
Yes. Correct. I hate that term. Remember when you used to say that all the time?
Yeah, remember when you not so delicately let me know about it?
Did I?
Yeah.
I thought you just buy or sell, you just figured it out on your own, I thought.
Sell.
That's a big fat sell there. That's not how that went down.
I have 2 people left in my life who still say correct, and I just...
Are they both near and dear to your heart?
One's a friend of mine, I just, whatever. And the other is where I buy my booze and my wine. She's very nice, but I'm like, oh, this was literally, I'll go, oh, this was really good. Thanks for the recommendation. And she will say, correct.
See, that doesn't even make any sense.
It doesn't make sense. Or I'll say, oh, I got, this is like really, she'll like, oh, do you want to try this wine or whatever? I'm in there. Oh, that's really good. Correct. I know it's correct. That's why I said it out loud.
I wish I would have saved the text I got from you about the word correct.
Well, I sent you a text.
It was basically just like, hey, I hate this word. Never say it again. You say it way too much.
Man, I can't believe you didn't just like put in 2 weeks' notice or something when that happened. That is
I wouldn't do that to you.
I know.
Wouldn't do that. Over the word correct.
Did I really?
Oh, yeah. It was very to the point. Yeah. Yeah. You say this a lot. I hate it. Stop doing it.
I mean, okay, I want an honest answer here, okay? Buy or sell, you respect and appreciate the directness.
Buy.
I mean, you don't have to lie.
Looking back, it's an absolute buy. In the moment, I was like, what? What did I do to anger this guy?
You said correct 1,000 times to me.
Bill,
Hey, Tom, I need buy or sell if you have it correct. Like,
I didn't
the
do
problem
that.
is,
I didn't do that.
I
today,
didn't
Bill.
realize what a unicorn you were. You come to work on time, just like general, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My temper boils over when that goes wrong.
Right. You know what? I'll buy that.
Buy.
Buy or sell, our boss is listening right now.
Buy.
I hope so. He's great. I love that guy.
Bill,
The guy that we all know I'm talking about. No?
let's see if we all know this guy.
Get back on track.
Talk some NFL draft here, Bill. Deion Sanders had this to say with Skip Bayless yesterday about where Shedeur Sanders could end up in the draft.
Shedeur has told me, he's talked to me intently about all the visits he's had with all the teams, so I know where his heart is. I know where he wants to go. If it's New York, it's New York. If it's Tennessee, if it's Cleveland, if it's still the Raiders, if it's New Orleans, if it's any of those teams that are seeking a quarterback, I'm happy with it, man, because I know what he's going to do to the organization. I know what he's going to do.
Bill, buy or sell Deion Sanders being happy regardless of where his son Shedeur ends up.
I'm going to take him at his word because he says what he buy. I think
Buy.
By the way, buy or sell, we know how and why Deion went on Skip Bayless' show.
Sell.
That's a pretty good get for Skip Bayless.
It's a great get, especially as we lead up to the draft.
I mean, I guess I knew Skip Bayless did his own thing, but I didn't know that people actually listen to it. Buy or sell, people listen to it.
Buy.
Yeah, they do.
I am not one of those people, if that's what you're asking, but I'm just, yeah, sure, optimistic, why not?
I don't hate Skip the way that other people do. I can't say who it is because all of you listening know who this person is, but I'll never forget a guy that I like and I know just doing the Skip's the worst thing as his shtick on his shows and his social media, and then he got hired by ESPN and he got on that show and it was a totally Skip's the best. I love how hard when Skip was still there. I love how hard he works. Most of the criticism directed at that guy is pure jealousy. Doesn't mean it's wrong, necessarily, but it's based on pure jealousy. Buy or sell, you think coaches in the collegiate level, college football coaches, have the same jealousy toward Deion Sanders?
Buy.
Yeah. Buy or sell, you think Sean Keeler, who is my former colleague, who basically, I think he called Deion the greatest con artist of all time. Buy or sell, he's already lost that battle.
Buy.
It's quite a hill to make your last stand on.
Yeah, that didn't go Sean's way. Bill, let's get back to Shedeur and the Sanders family here. Buy or sell, the Giants should still try to draft a quarterback after signing Russ and Jameis this offseason.
Okay, are you saying a quarterback if Cam Ward and Shedeur are gone?
Take it anywhere you want.
I mean, here's the thing. Buy. Yes, they have to.
Buy.
They don't have to do it with the number 3 pick, is what I would say. You can do it in the second or the third round.
If you're the Giants, are you aggressively trying to get up to number 1 or number 2?
The problem becomes they didn't fire their coach. I mean, the problem becomes his focus is keeping his job. And he's not going to keep his job by playing a young quarterback, letting him grow into the gig and winning 5 or 6 games. most people aren't C.J. Stroud or Jaden Daniels. I mean, even Peyton Manning threw 30-some interceptions his first year. That's normally the way that goes. So they should. I don't know that they will.
Some NBA here, Bill. Hoopier than thou. Buy or sell the Pacers scoring a franchise record 162 points in regulation yesterday against the Wizards was entertaining to watch.
All right, buy for me, but here's the problem.
Buy.
Probably isn't for most people, and it's a problem with teams that are tanking because the Pacers are in an actual battle for the 4, 5, 6 with the Pistons and the Milwaukee Bucks. But I've been sort of, especially on Beyond the Arc, today's Brad Botkin and Sam Quinn, who have never worked together. That'll be fun. So those guys are doing it today. I will not be on there if you're thinking of going over, but those dudes will be rocking it. Check it out at noon Eastern. I've been pushing, especially on that show, that I think the Pacers are really undervalued and really underappreciated. So I liked it because it was an exclamation point behind the sentence, "Oh man, Ryder did it again!" Exclamation point.
I like it. Lean into it. Why not?
Thanks, buddy.
All right, let's talk some baseball here, Bill. Orioles outfielder Tyler O'Neill homered in the 6th inning yesterday in Baltimore's win over Toronto. What's so special about that? Well, I'll tell you. O'Neill homered in his 6th consecutive opening day, which is a Major League Baseball record.
Wow.
Not to mention O'Neill finished the day going 3 for 3 with 2 walks. Bill, buy or sell opening day is the best day of the season to watch baseball.
Buy.
Buy.
There's a terrible but great Adam Sandler movie with what's her name? Drew Barrymore called 50 First Dates. Have you seen this thing?
It's so bad.
So bad. And the premise is that she had been so they have this perfect first date, right? They fall in love and they have special hangout time. And then she wakes up and every day, this doesn't even make sense. What condition is this? Every day she resets the day before, so she doesn't know it's a new day. And he basically has to like get her to fall in love with him every day. And at the end, she wakes up on a yacht or something, and there's a video like, "Hey, come upstairs. I'm your husband. You have a kid." Every day. Lori, by the way, oh man, she was so pissed. She started crying when we first watched. She's like, I was so put out by it. I kept rewinding it, or I kept being like, "Man, can't believe that she doesn't know him." And she's like, "You're the worst." I'm like, "How are you crying at this?" And she still brings it up. She can't watch the movie because I kept going. I mean, think about it, Lori. She doesn't even know she has a kid. My point to all this, what are you talking about, Ryder? Here it is. If you could do that, if Tyler O'Neill had that, and his video was, "It's opening day again, pal," this guy would hit 160 home runs. He'd be the greatest. It is. Are you sure? It's really hot out for March. No, man, it's not July 4th. Why does everybody have the July 4th? I don't know. Get out there opening day.
It's a great point.
Thank you. Thank you. Just 51st dates Tyler O'Neill, and he'll come up, all the time and not once a year when you're searching for a buy or sell question.
The other thing about 51st dates, and I feel like it should have been better. It had some potential, but it just fell flat.
It's kind of funny first scene though, where he pretends to be a spy when he's done hanging out with some super hot tourist, and he runs and jumps on not a water scooter. What do you call those things?
Is it a jet ski?
Yeah, it is. Water scooter's better.
Right, I'm gonna try to get through this next baseball one.
Hit me.
Oh, water scooter.
Yeah, it's a better. Oh, did you not buy or sell? Do you know that I've gotten to a phase where I just rename things now?
Buy.
Yeah, you do that. Water scooter's so much better.
All right, Bill, your Cubbies won yesterday. Chicago beat the Diamondbacks 10-6.
Yeah, they did.
Buy or sell? You're optimistic about the Cubs getting a National League wild card spot.
Buy. We're 1-2 now. Only came under 500 after opening day. Also, can I just again give Robert Manfred a little buy, a little thank you.
Buy.
For the riveting Diamondbacks Cubs showdown we were all looking for. Maybe he and I can go on a little water scooter tandem operation and talk about more ideas.
I don't know why I find water scooters so funny.
Yeah, you're
water scooter. Bill, we're gonna finish like we always do, with some hockey.
Hockey. We've got long ball for baseball, right? What do we have for hockey?
Hockey. Yeah, we gotta work on that.
Like an action hero.
Yeah.
We'll figure out next few months.
All right, you're going to love this here, Bill. Alex Ovechkin is 6 goals away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's all-time mark. Gretzky, of course, finished with 849 career goals. Ovechkin's at 889. Alex is 39 years old, and he's got 36 goals in 56 games played this season. He broke his leg earlier this year, missed some time. Ovechkin's team, the Capitals, they have 10 games left this season. Buy or sell, you want Ovechkin to break Gretzky's record before the regular season ends.
Sell. I don't know why. I
Sell.
I've never. Have you seen the movie Indecent Proposal? I have not.
I
know
not.
the premise.
Nope.
Do you know the premise?
I don't.
All right, so Demi Moore and I think Woody Harrelson are married, and they're at a casino or something. And Robert Redford offers them whatever, $10 million, $1 million if he can if he can hang out with Demi Moore special time for 24 hours. And they take it. And what happens? Buy or sell, it would be okay if Wayne Gretzky did his own indecent proposal and offered Ovechkin, who I can't even say for some reason. It's like I'm thinking about water scooters. $10 million or $50 million to not break his record.
Sell.
It would not be okay.
Not okay. Not cool.
Problem is, it doesn't need the money. The reason this stupid movie, I haven't seen it, maybe it's a great movie. The reason the premise works is that Demi and Woody, I think they're the actors, I could be totally wrong, needed the money.
Maybe they wanted to buy a water scooter.
I think they end up getting divorced, or maybe they never talk about it.
Shocking.
You can't sell your wife.
Yeah. That
Therefore, indecent. But Redford's all charming. Like, hey, I have an idea, I have a thought. I mean, I wonder if Redford and Demi went on a water scooter ride together. There was a boat in it, I think. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. 888-710-4ISN. You look shook.
Movies, water scooters.
Yeah.
It's Friday.
Sure. Yeah, we're on it. Our guy, Kevin Todd, who gave us a winner yesterday, by the way. He's doing really well. He's been pointing us in the right direction. He joins us next here on Right of the New.
And just like that, gold prices hit yet another all-time highs. Investors, central banks, billionaires from all around the world are flocking to own physical gold and silver. And guess what? Your chance to get off the sidelines and join this bull market is right now. My name is Jeremy Blossom. I'm with Advantage Gold, the #1 customer-rated gold company in America, and we have a free gold investment guide to help you understand what's going on and, more importantly, how to own physical gold and silver. All you need to do is call us at 1-800-900-8000 today, and we'll rush you this guide. It's 1-800-900-8000. Get our free gold investment guide and learn why now is the right time to own physical gold and silver. And if you call now, you could also earn up to $1,000 in free silver. What are you waiting for? Get off the sidelines. Call 1-800-900-8000 today.
Paid for by Advantage Gold. Performance may vary. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Always consult your financial and tax professional.
At the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, get deals so right, it almost feels wrong. Now's the best time to get that Hyundai car or SUV you've always wanted. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with America's best warranty and 3 years or 36,000 miles of limited complimentary maintenance. Don't think you can get away with all that? Think again. But don't wait. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event is going on now. So visit your local Hyundai dealer today. It's a great day for a new Hyundai.
Good morning, beat freaks. Who's ready to move? Let's start this day right.
Tasha's morning dance parties are meeting rave reviews.
Lose your phones and find your groove.
They need an ops manager to help their community dance the morning away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Happy Friday! It's Doppler 910 meteorologist Haley Fischetti, and here's a look at today's forecast. Watching that system move into our region today with some of those rain showers, areas in the lower peninsula very spotty in nature, and some isolated rain and snow for those in the upper peninsula. Winds are from the south-southeast direction, and your highs in the low 30s all the way to the mid-50s. Tonight, expecting some icy conditions to set up in the upper peninsula and tip of the mid. Definitely want to stay indoors indoors if you can, as these conditions continue into Saturday morning. Those wide temperatures allowing for some of those icy conditions in the UP with more rain the further south you go. Expecting drier skies next week. With all the details over on 9 and 10 News.
It's March Madness all month long at Matt LaFontaine Chevy GMC in Grayling. Hi, this is Matt LaFontaine, and boy, things are really heating up. Lease a new 2025 Chevy Trailblazer for just $289 per month, or a new 2025 Chevy Silverado Crew Cab 4x4 loaded for only $259 per month. Your trade will never be worth more than it is today at Matt LaFontaine Chevy GMC in Grayling. Together, let's drive. See us at MattLaFontaineAutomotive.com or call us at 855-763-1600.
Auto Lab of Gaylord, right behind Jay's, will inspect your brakes and suspension for free. Make sure your car or truck will stop when you need it to. Visit AutolabGaylord.com. AutolabGaylord.com, the best mechanic in Gaylord.
Hey, it's Anthony Bellino from Spin on Sports, Michigan Sports Dog Morning Show on the Great Voice Radio Network. Heard live weekday mornings from 6 to 9 right here on Up North Sports Radio 101.1 WGRY. Whether it's Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Lions, Michigan State, the Big Ten, the Mid-American Conference, all the headlines, all the stories, and always Michigan teams first. It's all right here on Spin on Sports, weekday mornings from 6 to 9 on the Great Voice Radio Network. Heard locally on Up North Sports Radio 101.1 WGRY.
And businesses with tax problems. Listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-785-9132. That's 800-785-9132. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-785-9132.
Welcome back to Writer Than You.
Hump Day is incredibly stupid.
On the Infinity Sports Network.
Oh, that's fun. Is that an oldie? It made me laugh.
An oldie, but a goodie.
We just got a call from a listener in Ohio who didn't want to go on, but we appreciate the kind words. We talked to you. I'm relaying your message, but he said he loves the show, and we sound like we've been best friends forever. We've only been best friends 4 years, but it can be forever.
Yeah.
Starting then. Bro, we're coming up on your 5-year anniversary producing the show. That is crazy.
Is that defined as an era or an error?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Fair question. Good question. I think that's the longest anyone's ever produced me. Adam Klug felt like 5 years in a good way, but it was not quite 2. In a good way.
Sure.
In a good way.
I know what you mean.
A guy named Jason Stewart produced me. That didn't feel like it was good away. And for maybe 2 years. Yeah, it's you, because we're best friends.
Clearly.
I do miss Tom, wherever you're listening. Tom, the producer, used to send emails in the morning, and his pitches were always analogies about a broken high school kid with bubbling, seething anger toward the homecoming queen. I mean, it went on for months. You had to work through some stuff.
Yeah, and you were nice enough to try and work it, through me, and then you would say, "Here's what I'm doing for the show, Tom. Like, here's how the show's actually going to go today."
It was very, very fun. We're waiting on Kevin down. He gave us Alabama yesterday over BYU, right? And I think it was a 5 or 5.5. And they won by 1,000,000 points in the gambling terms. 1,000,000 points. We haven't had this conversation, Tom. Do you have an issue with the three-point shooting as a casual fan that defines the NBA? And our guy's there now? All right, we're going to get to him. We'll get to Tom in a second. So I told you, even before Kevin came on, first time a week ago, that this dude is so good at his gig and at his job. VegasMistake.com is the website, because the concept, and by the way, we've seen the execution in the tips Kevin has given us over the last week, including yesterday, where he crushed. I mean, that Alabama over BYU was -5, -5.5, like I just said. That was a 20-some point victory for Bama. You didn't even have to worry. You didn't even have to sweat. They look for mistakes in Vegas. They try to find to the edges where Vegas is not seeing things the right way. And remember, Vegas is putting lines on every game on the face of the earth. So they're going to make errors. And so it's VegasMistake.com, 866-441-2711, 866-441-2711. And if, like me, you like to gamble responsibly, I love to gamble, it is nice. Look, I can walk into a sports book and I can just be like, I don't know this. It's nice to have an expert. It's nice to have somebody to turn to. For me, that guy's Kevin Todd. Kevin Todd, what's up, buddy?
Bill, let me tell you, if I didn't call that BYU-Alabama game to a T, I don't know what else to tell you. And let me tell you, 113 signups yesterday from your listeners. It was an incredible day yesterday. We cleaned house. And like I said, my performance promise that I did for your listeners was unbelievable yesterday. We made each and every one of your listeners money, and I'm going to do it again today, Bill. I'm also going to give them a free play. But let me tell them right now, folks, what I mean by a performance promise is that I promise to make you money. If I don't make you money, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give every one of your listeners, Bill, I'm going to give them the entire Crown College basketball tournament, which I don't know if anybody knows. There's another basketball tournament starting next week in Las Vegas. It's called the Crown. It's got 16 teams in it, and it's going to be another week of college basketball. If I don't show your listeners a promise of making them money, Bill, I'm going to give the entire Crown tournament absolutely free. And what I mean, guys, it's 5 games for $45. All you have to do is go over to VegasMistake.com and sign up, or give me a call at 866-441-2711. What do you think, Bill?
Dude, I love it. And I owe you a thank you, by the way, because I bet that game, and my brother Bobby's in town, and Kevin Todd, I love my brother, but he has extravagant tastes, and he likes to do you treat, I treat, and I don't like that because he's just going to order all the stuff. But yesterday was my day to treat. I didn't really care because Alabama smashed BYU, and you told me to be on Bama. So I'm like, yeah, order the extra cocktail. Order two of them.
Yeah. And you know what's funny about that, Bill, is that the line opened up at 5.5. It closed at -4.5. And all these prognosticators out there and all the public, what they did is they saw and they were watching how Alabama struggled in 2 games and how BYU was just lighting it up in their first 2 games. But let me tell you, the SEC, like I said yesterday, best conference in football, best conference in basketball, and the difference between the SEC teams and the rest of the teams, Bill, they're battle tested. They beat up on each other throughout the year, so they get the experience, they get the toughness, they've got great athletes, and that's what proved yesterday. And Sears, up until that point, had the worst tournament going. The kid lit it up for 10 threes.
Yeah, oh my God, they were raining 3-point shots. All right, so here's the cheat code. Here's at least where I would turn. VegasMistake.com, as in Vegas makes mistakes, and Kevin Todd and his colleagues identify them and point you in that direction. VegasMistake.com. Phone number 866-441-2711. 866-441-2711. Kevin Todd, speaking of the SEC, speaking of the Sweet 16, speaking of some basketball, I kind of got the itch. Which way, do you got one for me you can point me toward tonight?
Yes, so you're looking at this Kentucky catching 4.5 versus Tennessee. Now, Bill, I get it. It's very hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. But if you look at this Kentucky team, they already beat them twice. The first game, if you remember, they played, Butler was out, and they beat them. The second game, Andrew Carr was out, and they beat them in Tennessee, 75-64. So the public is looking at this. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in a year, and the odds makers, they're jacking this line up to 4.5. Folks, listen to me right now. Kentucky is on a mission. They want to prove that this team can win it all. And they're playing Tennessee again. And these two teams are just battled. They know each other. In a game like this, Bill, you got to take the 4.5 here. I would not be surprised if Kentucky wins this for the 3rd straight time. When I went back and I looked, let me tell you, Kentucky 9-4-1 against the spread as a dog in the tournament, including 9-1-1 against the spread when they're playing a team that's coming off at least a 14-point win or more, which Tennessee did against UCLA. Folks, I'm telling you right now, Tennessee is that team that they want to play the defense. They've kept the pace to where they had to play Kentucky's game. If Kentucky makes Tennessee play them the game again, I see Kentucky here plus the 4.5 as a gift. I see they winning this game outright. But more important, Bill, it's about my 5 games for $45 with my performance promise. Folks, I'm telling you, I will make you money, or I promise to give you the entire Crown tournament on me. It's only $45. That's less than going out to the movies and getting nachos and popcorn, folks. I will make you money. Go to vegasmistake.com or give me a call at 866-441-2711. I told the world yesterday that Bama was a gift. I'm telling you, I believe Kentucky win this game outright. I got 3 more games, listeners, and I'm telling you, you better go over to vegasmistake.com. Do not attempt to play these games on your own. You're going to lose. Or give me a call at 866-441-2711 for my performance promise guarantee.
I'm going to rock some Kentucky on the money line. That's my guy, Kevin Todd, vegasmistake.com. vegasmistake.com, 866-441-2711. You are the man, Kevin Todd, as always, pal. Appreciate you, and thank you.
Bill, excellent. Thank you so much. I'll see you during football season, and I'm going to text you tomorrow my Elite 8 winners.
Hit me, dude. Oh, I'm in. I love that. Kevin Todd's the best. vegasmistake.com, vegasmistake.com, 866-441-2711. That's 866-441-2711. I was just saying to Tommy a second ago, Bama won that game, and Kevin told us yesterday. He said it was going to be that it was going to be an easy win. It was going to be by a huge margin, and Bama dominated BYU. They take so many threes, and it is kind of an issue. In fact, I had this conversation with Seth Curry, not Steph, Steph's brother Seth, the Charlotte Hornet, and when we drop that over on Beyond the Arc, maybe we'll bring it back and we'll play it for you. It's a little too much three-point shooting. Probably something we should dive into next week. But it is a Friday. Show's about to close out. It's time for the segment we all love. Man, Tom hasn't won this yet. Bum of the Week coming up after a Sports Flash from Andrew Bogish.
Infinity Sports Network Sports Flash.
Bill, now through 3 rounds, Duke has looked as good as anyone in the men's bracket, led by Cooper Flagg. 30 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 blocks in last night's 193 decision over Arizona in Jersey. Duke head coach John Shire.
That was one of the best tournament performances I've ever coached or, been a part of. And he just did what you're supposed to do, and he'll move on and get ready for Alabama. And I think that's the beauty of it with him. He doesn't get caught up in all that.
Alabama is next because the Tide rode a single-game tourney record 25 threes to a 113-88 rout of BYU. The East Regional Finals, your nightcap tomorrow. Texas Tech and Florida are first. The Red Raiders were down 13 with 4.5 to go last night, but rallied to send Arkansas home 85-83 in overtime after the Gators dumped Maryland 87-71. The Lakers blew a 5-point lead with 13 seconds left, then a 1-point lead with 3 seconds to go, losing in Chicago 119-117 on Josh Giddey's half-court buzzer beater. I'm Andrew Bogish.
This is the Infinity Sports Network. Follow us on Instagram. Our handle is Infinity Sports Network. That's Infinity Sports Network to follow us on Instagram.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Former CIA officer Jason Hansen here. In my line of work, I've seen firsthand how fast the world can change. With rising geopolitical tensions and inflation eating your buying power, it's time to take action. For me, that means gold. And for gold, I exclusively trust Advantage Gold. I urge you to do the same. Call them now at 800-900-8000 for a free gold guide to discover the security that comes with owning precious metals. Again, call 800-900-8000 today.
Paid for by Advantage Gold. Performance may vary. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Always consult your financial and tax professional.
Hometown feel and big-time winning. That's Saginaw Eagles Landing, the place where everyone greets you with smile after smile. In the casino, at the restaurants, or in the hotel, this is a getaway that makes you feel right at home. We've got hundreds of slots, great food, and a comfy place to stay. So come on in and see what the good times are all about. Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit Saginaw-EaglesLanding.com for complete rules and details.
Spring into sweet deals all this month at Sarah Ford in Gaylord and Kalkaska. They have super lease deals you need to grab now, like the best-selling 2025 Ford F-150 at $515 per month with just $3,000 down. Sarah has amazing lease deals on the fantastic all-wheel drive Escape or the super hot Bronco Sport, each for a low $329 per month with just $3,000 down. Get to Sarah Ford for the best rates, service, and selection in the North. Sarah Ford of Gaylord and Kalkaska, Sarah and Teasin.
When your name is Trout Town, you gotta be pretty good at pulling great meals out of the water. At Trout Town Tavern and Eatery in Kalkaska, it's an art form, from Parmesan rainbow trout to hand-battered perch fillets, or transforming the ordinary fish and chips to extraordinary fish and chips. Trout Town is the Michelangelo of fish. Add your favorite ice-cold beer or cocktail, and you're talking about the perfect meal. Get more at TroutTownTavern.com. Trout Town, for up-north flavor.
Hey Q Nation, it's J-Bo here, and I'm getting ready for the big J-Bo Billman Show at the Venue in Cadillac on April 25th. Come down and be a part of a live concert DVD. We need you in the crowd, people. We'll be doing new J-Bo music, your favorite Billman Bros tunes, and even some Grinder Blues stuff. With special guest Heat Above, it's going to be an epic night. Tickets are just $20. Find the ticket link on the Q100Michigan.com homepage. That's Friday, April 25th. Presented by Q100 Michigan, the only place for rock and roll.
We didn't know what to expect. We were just left in a hotel.
My mom was doing drugs in the house.
Tay and Brianna spent years of their childhood in homes that weren't safe. They were placed in foster care and longed for a permanent, loving home.
I didn't know what my future was.
I wouldn't speak to anyone. I was afraid of everything.
With help from the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption, Brianna and Tay were adopted and now feel excited about their futures.
I'm studying to be a chef, and I